Om Shanti to everyone out there in cyberspace and in Zoom space, because, you know, when we take the time to listen to programs like this, there is an element of care there to choose to listen to something that I think will help me to just feel more at peace with myself, to be able to develop the attitude and the ability to know what's good for the soul, the body, relationships, the environment. And I want us to look at that: soul, body, relationships, and environment. And before we go into those 4 key areas, which I want to share with you my personal experience and my experience dealing with my mother who's staying with me in the ashram, who has dementia now, and how much I'm learning, I would like to invite us to just maybe take a moment of reflection and silence and going over some of the thoughts that have been shared with us already. Just take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment, and then breathe it out as if you're letting go a lot of tension and pressure and an uncertainty and even desires that you might have inside of yourself. Just hold a moment. When we meditate, we focus on the energy behind our 2 eyes. Imagine there's an infinite, immortal, imperishable, pure, powerful energy behind my 2 eyes. That's me. And that's you. And that's 7.5 billion of us, if we're willing to care enough to sustain it and to keep the flame of our inner light alive. Just take another deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in again. And breathe out. And remind yourself, I, the soul, am immortal, eternal, infinite, pure, and peaceful. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay there just for a few moments. With your eyes gently opened, send your pure wishes and pure vibrations to all the souls in this space with you. Wishing them from your mind to be blessed, wishing their lives to be benefited, and observe how you, the soul, feel wishing somebody well.
all the things that we've been hearing on this session today, they're all things to nurture the soul. And that's what we just did. It's so subtle. Sometimes the less we push in and force ourselves to feel at peace with ourselves, or to, I don't know, have others even feel good around us, just requires you to just pause for a little. Believe in things that maybe you don't necessarily need to see with your two eyes, but with your third eye of the soul. There's such a vast world there. Your entire journey is recorded behind your eyes, inside of you, the Atma, the soul. And when you understand, or at least know that, or you are aware of it, you're on the first and the most maybe step that you can take. You're actually stepping into the most important part of your self-care. The world behind your eyes is filled with so many mystical, profound truths. And the world with your two eyes can deceive you and distract you and make you care less about taking care of your beautiful inner being, the Atma, the soul. So when we come together about a conversation on care, the first and foremost important thing is to care for the soul. And the question is, do you care for what thoughts you put into the soul? And what feelings you put into the soul as a result of those thoughts? How do you spend your day? Let's say we're awake for 20 hours or 18, 19 hours a day. How do you spend your day in terms of your thoughts, the words you speak, and why, and the choices you make? Is it a soul who has the care and the understanding that each thought I have determines either if I'm caring for my innermost self or not? Daddy Janki used to always tell us, use every second in a worthwhile way. That has stayed in me as such a mantra, and for anyone who knows me, they know I don't like to waste time. So you will not see me gossiping. You will not see me trying to strategize how to put someone down or to compete with them. I just don't have time. Use your every second in a worthwhile way. If I feel like physically I can't go out to change the world, I can definitely emotionally and spiritually change my feelings, my thoughts. One more time. Go behind your eyes. Recognize that your infinite, immortal, imperishable being of light is now awakening. And you've accepted that your state of awareness and consciousness is pure, peaceful, and powerful at this moment. And for everyone in the space, even your friends and family in your homes, please give them your blessings. Your good wishes, your pure feelings. Observe how you're feeling right now. When you can develop the ability to recognize that feeling in you now, then you will use that method Find methods that can keep stimulating that energy in you. That's caring for soul. That's caring for the Atma, which is the source of everything in the world. The reason why there's so much violence and war and fear and struggles and illness and disappointment and poverty is because everyone has stopped. Everyone is stopping the care of their most valuable asset, Atma, the being, the Ruh, the spirit, the Alma, the soul, the energy. And just in 5-7 minutes, you found a surefire way to take care of yourself. It's that easy. And the only reason why we don't do it is the influences of the consciousness of being so humanly motivated. I think based on the color of my skin, my features, the watch that I wear, the jewelry that I own, the designer clothes that I put on, I define who I am by the language I speak, the country I belong to, the title, the job, the family, the caste, the religion. And because energy has reached such a complicated state of definition, even if I'm white or black or Chinese or Indian with good character, the first thing somebody will see is the color of my skin or my shape of my face. And they will immediately begin to stereotype something about me that they've heard historically, that everybody who looks white and everybody who looks black is like this. No, it's not true. And so things are breaking down. And so physically, if most of our thinking and feelings are motivated by the attachment of a physical identity and understanding of our physical existence, we're hurting the soul because the soul is so vast. And I'm trying to define the soul by just being a black person. I'm fair-skinned, so I'm going to be accepted. I'm white, Chinese, Spanish, African. Every day you look in the mirror, you see that person. But is that really your entirety? Is this the way you want to take care and sustain yourself? It won't be. So once the soul is in the body, it is simply playing out an expression of whatever you want that soul to be. And a soul who has cared for itself will care for others. It's the law of the universe. So the second aspect of the physical well-being, when I care for myself, I'm going to be very honest, I want to have more strength in this area. And I'll tell you why I know that I need to do it is, in my spiritual tradition of the Brahma Kumaris, I focused so much on being the soul and a child of God and a server for God to reveal the fact that the energy of God is definitely here. And the reason why I know the energy of God is here, I am seeing it in so many of His children. I'm meeting many of God's creation that exudes from their being a sense of purity, a peacefulness about them, a lovingness, a generosity, a wisdom, a kindness, a gentleness, a tenderness, but a strength about them. And whenever I meet those folks, I go, there's Baba. I can see Baba in that child. He's here. And the fact that I've met so many of his children like that, I'm convinced God has descended. There's no doubt in my mind. And I actually look forward to bumping into another child of God that has accessed that relationship and that connection. And I've watched the way that they take care of themselves by having pure vegetarianism, maintaining good relationships, being honest with earning and spending money, keeping their minds very positive. And as much as I do that for myself, I also see where I have weakness. Fried foods, Sister Genti doesn't have any. I love pakora. I don't know why I can't stop eating pakoras. Dr. Mehta, you're going to have to help me to stop having so much pakora. And then there's certain foods that still attract me, like the Kumaris, the sisters here will make some really nice pies and cakes, and one slice should be enough. But then I taste it, it tastes good. My consciousness knows one is enough. But then I close it and the soul stops caring and it says, could I have another slice? Just one more. And I know when I'm doing that, it's not doing good to my body. I don't do it all the time, but I'm just letting you know honestly that there are times I forget to care for my body. And that's okay. But go back and do something good for it. Drink a lot of water. Go walking, go exercising. What I've learned is that there's a particular area in the soul where, let's say, you can be very neat in your room and you can feed and take care of your family very well, but when it comes on to you, you don't do it so well. There's a little area of some factor in you that you haven't understood yet, but you will one day, that doesn't care for an area that is important to you. So sometimes it happens, but if it does, I invite you to just have this conversation and go, why would you want 2 more slices? You don't need pakoras today again. What do you need, Jen? You can live without this. If you were put in a cage with only bread and water, you would survive, wouldn't you? So then you're eating because of emotions, because of desires. So now you understand what I'm trying to say, is that when you are aware of, even when you're not physically taking care of yourself, it is important for you to establish a relationship with yourself, a conversation to get you on the right track. So yes, food, sleep, water, exercise, all important for your physical well-being. The way you dress, the way you comb your hair, the way you brush your teeth, the way you choose to look at things through your eyes. Not to look at things from a perspective of what's wrong with this person or what's right. No, just to look with a benevolent attitude is a means of actually serving your physical well-being. To speak peacefully and with kindness and love is a means of taking care of your physical well-being. To choose to listen to something that elevates you, inspires you, makes you happy is a means of taking care of your physical well-being. To walk on the earth, that when you get out of your bed and your feet touch the earth, you can say thank you for being there. Give it respect and honor. Put your feet softly. Get off the bed and walk softly on the earth. This is taking care of your physical well-being because it's all karmic. It leads into the way we deal with our relationships, the third factor. Relationships are everything. And I look at them like a stairway. The same relationships can take you up, and the same relationship, if you look at it, it can also kind of pull you down, you know? I think people who are in relationships and couples and marriages, you know what I mean? It can have a lot of roller coaster emotions. But they're so beautiful when they work, aren't they? And if you look at one of the reasons why we might say relationships are the most trying things the most challenging things. Every relationship that has ever been difficult for you is because you just didn't have the capacity to care enough. They could be wrong, they could be even violent, they could be lying, they could be cheating, they could be not knowing at all what you need to make this relationship better. They could be totally out there. They just don't know what's in your heart. And yet you, if you've cared for the soul, and if you've cared for your physical body, then even if they are not on best behavior, you still have the capacity in you to give that care that you have for yourself, which they inherit. It becomes an extension of who you are. The art is to not buy into their carelessness for themselves, where it starts to impact you, where you stop caring for you. So in these relationships require us to give more love, respect, and space. Sometimes you're too much in each other's faces and you don't have any time to grow as individuals and to build your strengths. So instead of looking at each other's strengths, because neither person are caring for themselves, there's conflict. And whenever you're in conflict with a human being, whether it's through thoughts, words, or even action, it's a sign. People who care less for themselves will care less for others. People who care for themselves will care for others. So you've got two people living in a home and they're fighting all the time. It's a sign they're caring less for themselves. So if we can practice the art of caring first from the soul level and then physically looking out for yourself, then you realize an extension of that is I'm going to bring the best of myself in these relationships. There's some people you just won't get along with. Your energy just aren't aligned. You know, one's from Venus, the other one's from Mars. But the moment I see that and I find it as a defect or a problem in them, it has just entered my consciousness and now I've stopped caring. Enough to protect my field. Because the fourth important factor is the environment that is created as a result of my attitude. Your home, your office, your car space is creating an aura, a vibration based on the quiet thoughts that you're thinking on a regular basis, or just your attitude. You could be in a rickshaw, a car, and it's just driving and you're looking at the people next to you in the car. What are you thinking? Maybe you had an argument with a spouse before you went to work and you're in the car and the driver's driving and even the driver can feel your frustration. It's just in the environment. So imagine if 50 cars, 50 individuals left the home angry. It's in the vibration. Then you get high temperature heat waves. And then for some reason, people are blowing their horns and everyone's just frustrated and that vibration is spreading. Because people who care less for themselves will care less for others. Why this conversation is so important is that every one of you that's online, you know that. And in the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, the first and foremost care is to consider yourself to be a soul, is to know your spirit. Is to know that that immortal, imperishable, pure, and powerful energy that quietly resides behind your eyes is in charge of everything. your health, relationships, your environment, even the way you earn and spend your money, it is coming from your soul. If you can interpret money as an energy, then if you purify your energy, money will naturally find you. But if you're scared because you don't think you will ever have enough, or you look at the Joneses and the Joneses just bought a new Range Rover, or they have a new sari, or they seem to have a new diamond, or they're going to such and such of a party or a program, and you feel your worth is to match them, then you make corrupt decisions. And whenever you make a corrupt choice, you care less for the soul, and a soul who cares less for the self will care less for the consequences of others. So if you shortchange your greatest capacity and your greatest power, which is to be soul aware and soul conscious, and to believe in the power of the purity of your spirit, of your soul, and that the more you take care of the soul and develop a very intimate, deep relationship with God, Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, Bhagwan, Khuda, Brahma, whatever it is that you won't feel comfortable with calling God, God, that each time your soul remembers God, the supreme being, which can be in any name that comforts your geography, your language, or your karmic energy, every pure desire will be fulfilled. Every pure desire. That means you no longer have to be corrupted. You don't have to feel insecure or feel greater because the Joneses have a new car, a new diamond ring, or whatever. It won't matter. Your spirit is so rich, you will always have enough. Always. It requires consistency, yes. It requires faith, yes. It requires determination, yes. But think of the benefit. You're going to leave behind a legacy for a generation to have power. You will leave behind a generation for your kids to believe in truth, in principle, in value, in virtue, in integrity. That means when you take your last breath, you know you would have contributed to a better society because you never became corrupted because you cared less for yourself. These sessions are really vital. They hit us where they need to hit us, and they open us up where we need to be opened. This is no longer life just about you and the way you want to live in the world. This is about you and your contribution to the entire humanity, surviving people, you, they've cared so little about your emotional and spiritual and physical well-being for too long. And so what I've loved about being a part of the Brahma Kumaris for quite a few decades now, I am constantly being directed. Take care of your soul. Please, take care of the world behind your eyes. And when you take care of that energy behind your eyes, your body will be okay, your relationships will be okay, your environment will be okay, your money will be okay. And even if they break down, and I know mine does, my body breaks, I have issues with this, issues with that, that doesn't make me give up. It just means I have to push a little more. That means I have more capacity to put more of spiritual love, spiritual value, spiritual wisdom, spiritual integrity into my spirit. That's all it says if for whatever reason it's not working right. This is our time. If we don't start caring for ourselves now, when will you begin? First and foremost, you are an immortal, eternal, imperishable energy. That means you have to decide how you want to think and feel regularly. You're responsible for your physical well-being, the relationships, the way the environment surrounds itself around you and in the world at large. As I mentioned, if you're angry, that spreads. So that means if you're peace, it's going to spread. If you're a loving and kind and generous person, everybody wants to be in your space. Because love makes the world go round. Sometimes we struggle with finding the right words about something so subtle and so normal to do. Can you imagine? We're supposed to be so advanced in the 21st century, and we need to have a program like this about how to care for ourselves, our loved ones. And I know it takes time. When we moved into our new space, and my mother, who was also a very good teacher in the Brahma Kumaris, she developed dementia. For the first 3 months, everyone, I don't know what happened to Sister Jenna, but she was not Sister Jenna. And I could blame it on the move, could blame it on my body, I can blame it on a lot of things that took too much from me. I could. But I had to go back to what I knew to be true. I'm immortal, eternal, imperishable. I am a pure soul. I am powerful. I'm loving. And this soul, my mother with dementia, I'm going to become a better person based on how well I take care of her. That's my assignment. And when I accepted the assignment, everything started to become easy. So I leave this in closing. Accept the assignment to take care of yourself, to take care of those around you because you take care of yourself. And knowing that by accepting the assignment that it's my turn, be so selfish, it's my turn to take care of me with my thoughts, with the words that I speak, the choices that I make, that this is my assignment. I accept it and watch how everything goes smooth for you. Even if it gets difficult, it won't last long, because a soul who cares for itself would have attained enough power to overcome any challenge quickly. Challenges will come. They must come because they will help you to dig deeper and to find more capacity and more power and love in you. If you didn't have challenges, you'd get so bored. But not only bored, you would lose all your attainment because you won't feel there's a need to do much. So celebrate those tufans, so they become your tofa, and just continue to elevate yourself and elevate those around you. It's our time. So I don't know how much time I have because I have to, I can go on and on, Manoj Bhai, but I just feel like I wanted to share these thoughts with everybody from my heart to yours. And this is the process that I've seen for me. And I've been there. I've been there where I didn't care for the soul. And I have seen what it did to my body, to the relationships, and to the environment. But thanks to the teachings of Raj Yoga, I would pivot myself back. Come on, get back to your truth. You can't go that far anyway. Get back. You know what's important here. And then you come back. And things just start to be nice again. So let's take a few moments together to just gather all the energy that we've just received. For each and every one of us in this space, it all hit us in a special way, a way that was only for us, our own property, something very private, very personal, but very advantageous. So take a deep breath in, breathe in, and exhale. Breathe in again, and exhale. Get comfortable with being in your own company behind your eyes. It's sort of like you feel all of your energy is focusing in the center of your forehead, and it's creating a kind of an energy inside of you. Just keep letting go of the tensions of the body and focus on the energy behind your eyes. Breathe in deeply and exhale. Focus on the energy behind your eyes, the soul. And accept I, the soul, am immortal, eternal, imperishable. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. In this awareness, I can feel the energy of God, the ocean of peace, filling me up with more peace. A sacred peace, a divine peace, a peace that's pure. When I'm in this state of awareness, I'm in the ultimate form of care for the soul. The soul and God, connected, in peace. It's the ultimate form of care. Stay here for a while and get used to the soul being cared for. Om Shanti.